I mean, I didn't do any notes.
No.
No notes.
Same. Some things never change.
Yeah, there's no point.
If my notes slip, then Dolan creeps into this chair, doesn't he?
I just had a little thing in my head I was going to say, but I was going to do a little partridge.
Mum would be like, "Why have you bought this?" When I was young, I'd be like, "Mum, I like Bovril, let me live." My mum was like, "Oh, that's a lovely voice. Who is that talking?" And my dad was like, "Oh, it's Chris Dolan." And she took one look at the screen and went, "I do not like his hair."
What?
Hello, welcome to the Villa View podcast with myself, Dan Bardell and Tom Julian. And I'm going to say, before we start, I'm pretty glum.
Oh, mate, I'm in a terrible mood.
Yeah, it's been I've had a bad start to the week, but then yesterday has completely deflated me.
Yeah, not only did Villa lose this weekend, but I dropped my phone and the screen smashed everywhere.
Let's make it all about you.
And on the way to the podcast, you know when you get a burrito, I ate a bit of the tinfoil that wraps up the burrito.
You seem really upset by this.
It's really got in the back of my throat. And I'll tell you another thing, actually, while we're ranting, I'm not in a happy mood. People...
You eating tinfoil has cheered me up slightly.
First of all, I like dogs, but people on trains who just let their dogs kind of get all over you and
I've
stuff
never seen that happen.
in your work. Yeah, I've had it more than one occasion. Maybe I'm a dog whisperer. Do you remember that programme?
Yeah, the dog whisperer, Caesar.
Yes, very good knowledge. Anyway, control your dog. I like dogs and I don't mind it to me, but wife's not too happy about dogs. If you're going to have a dog on public transport, control it.
I think just keep your pets to yourself.
Agreed.
I don't bring my rabbits out into the open. They stay in the flat.
Anyway, going back to the first point that irked me, Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 2. Absolutely so frustrating. Everything about that game, apart from the first half actually, wound me up in a big way.
Yeah, I'm baffled by how we've ended up losing. I was saying last night in the pub after the game with a few of the lads that if we'd come away with a point, I think I'd have been upset. People are saying to me, I'll get perspective, it's Arsenal, but they had 10 men for 50 minutes of the game. Yeah. And we were winning for a long time of that game, so I think I have got perspective.
I think that's a very fair point. There's a lot of people on Twitter saying, look, you didn't expect to beat Arsenal, this kind of stuff.
1-1, so I expected a draw.
Right. But the kind of point is you've got to take into account that we were 1-0 up and then 2-1 up. They had 10 men. We were leading with 10 minutes to go. You know, I think as fans we have right to be frustrated in that result because, a win away at Arsenal is absolutely fantastic and it's been snatched from us. And
I don't think it's been snatched from us. I think we've taken it away from ourselves.
By our own shortcomings. And we'll come on to the penalty and what could have been, all that kind of stuff. But again, I don't want that to be the focus of things because that's papering over the cracks of what is a really, really disappointing second half performance.
Bits of the second half were okay. It's just a disappointing collapse. I feel like in my time as a Villa fan, in the big games at the big teams away from home, I feel like I've seen my fair share of collapses like that. I'm sure we've been at games that we've lost 3-2 to Arsenal before at Highbury. Remember Henry scoring a couple of late goals. Think of the Makeda one at Man U when you're in a good position. It's just a Villa thing. You're in a good position. You're looking like you should win, and then somehow you find a way to lose. Basically, we out Arsenal'd Arsenal.
Yeah,
it's just collapsing. It's
one of those things where when you're at the bottom, these things really matter because we've already dropped points from potentially, not from winning positions necessarily, but obviously Palace should have had a point. West Ham could have had all three. Maybe didn't deserve them, but could have had all three. Arsenal, you're 2-1 up. You're looking like you should have all three. The bookies certainly would say that you should have all three at that point. You know, these are frustrating. Even Spurs, first game of the season, we're in a decent position until we fall apart, and they take all 3 points, maybe deservedly. But these are games that, you know, you can say all well and good. We didn't expect to get that result or whatever. But you need to get some results, otherwise you go down. That's kind of the point.
I mean, it's only 6 games in, isn't it? But there's only so many times, and so far it feels like we've said this a lot after games, but that people are coming out and saying, we're new to the league, we're gel, we'll learn from this. Well, I saw things yesterday that meant that we haven't learned things from previous games, in all honesty, and I'm just disappointed by it because, like you say, first half I thought we were brilliant. 11v11, we were excellent. And I was not surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by what we're saying because personally, the last 2 games, I didn't think we attacked with any verve or swagger whatsoever.
Yeah.
And suddenly against Arsenal, we looked the more dangerous team. Trezeguet was causing problems, although he absolutely ran himself into the ground in the first half and had nothing left in the second half.
I'll come back to him.
Yeah. I thought Mcginn was the best central midfielder on the park. Mings and Engels were sweeping up everything. Heaton looked assured, and you look at that and you think, oh, there's a good team here.
Yeah,
and there is, and I'm not saying there isn't. And also, I'm probably going to question some things from Smith through this podcast. Although actually, from the sounds of it, some of it isn't down to him. But it's okay to be fully behind the lads, fully behind Dean Smith and the coaching staff, but question things.
Yeah,
it's okay to question things, and I think we have made mistakes yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wanted to highlight Mcginn and Grealish because first 15, 20 minutes they're absolutely running the show. The Arsenal midfield three looks non-existent.
Can I just talk about just a little segment here of how bad Granit Xhaka is?
Sure. Yeah.
I think he cost 35 million when the prices weren't that silly.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money. He is trash.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him anywhere near our team. I mean, we're quite blessed for central midfielders as is.
As we
but I actually wouldn't want him. But he's terrible, and he's the captain of Arsenal. And I've got a few thoughts about Arsenal as well. I think they're a bit of a joke. I know they beat us yesterday. I think their fans are a bit of a joke.
Go on.
Just the atmosphere's just dead. They have to until they're 3-2 up. They have to play. And this is very bitter. I sound very bitter when I'm saying all this, and I am a little bit. They have to play like atmosphere over the tannoy before the game. Like they've generated crowd noise through the tannoy.
Really?
Try and make it seem like there's
before
an
the game to build it up,
just as the players are coming out and stuff. I just think it's a great ground, beautiful ground. Arsenal's such a big club, such a historic club. I've got fond memories of Arsenal teams over the Premier League years since I've been alive. That's the worst Arsenal side I've ever seen. And probably at a big ground, the worst atmosphere I've ever seen.
There's always been that kind of talk. I've never been to the Emirates, but there's always been that kind of.
It's like a library.
That thing where people tourists come for a day out and buy an expensive ticket and just kind of watch, like they're watching the theatre or something like that.
It is a bit like that.
Yeah.
Not in the away end though. I took my friend with me. Yesterday, Fred, an Italian guy who I work with, who's a big Milan fan.
Right.
But he's adopted Villa as his English team, so he could have chose anyone in the office. Everyone supports Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, teams like that. But he's gone with Villa because I think I've made the biggest impression on him in the office around football.
Yeah.
So he took Villa as his team, and I took him to the game yesterday anyway, and he was amazed by how good the atmosphere was anyway, and he couldn't believe it.
I was going to say I was watching on a dodgy stream, but you could hear the Villa fans all the way through, and
wonderful.
You couldn't hear the Arsenal fans until, like you say, until the end.
I mean, you couldn't hear them because they weren't singing.
Yeah.
Until they were 3-2 up.
Yeah. Disappointing.
And I nearly got into a fight with a 13-year-old after the game.
Wow.
Not nearly get into a fight, but I was waiting for Kev, as usual.
Yeah.
And I was in my Villa shirt. To be fair, I don't cover up at away games. I just wear my shirt.
Hard man.
I'm not hard, man. I just think you should be, if you're not going there to cause trouble, wear your shirt. What's the problem? I was waiting for Kev, and loads of Arsenal fans were walking past, and this 13, 14-year-old in my face, goading me, going 2-1. Are you swearing? And you messed it up. 2-1. And you messed it up. Like, in my face. This kid was about 14, and I'm thinking, I'd never done that when I was 14 to a fully grown man.
You were never 2-1 and messed it up.
Yeah, that's true. We were never 2-1, were we? But I just that ruined my day as well. I didn't enjoy that. And that was everything I was saying to him. He just continued to do. He's very persistent.
Yeah.
He just kept saying 2-1, and you messed it up.
Like right in your face.
Yeah,
like
and I was
this.
going, very clever. How long did it take you to come up with that? He just kept doing it, and I can picture his face now. And
that's annoying.
Yeah, it was annoying. Yeah, I don't know why I told that story. It's just annoyed me.
I think you told that story because, as you may be able to tell, this is a ranty, annoyed boo. There's a lot of pent-up frustration and yeah, a little bit of aggression in here.
Yeah, I'm upset, Tom. I'm upset. Let's do the tale of the game.
Well,
Let's make ourselves feel better with the tale of the game.
Sure. So to go back to the positives, Villa start off the best, and everything's going through Mcginn, mainly Grealish looking lively as well. Like you say, Trezeguet started off very brightly. And
I texted you at half-time, didn't I, saying best performance I've seen from us in one half, bar none.
Yeah, for this season.
Yeah, this season.
Yeah,
sorry.
for sure.
Not ever.
Yeah,
because we looked excellent.
And El Ghazi's ball for the Mcginn goal is an absolute dime. It's what we've kind of grown accustomed to from the best of El Ghazi. It's just a perfectly weighted pinpoint cross, and all Mcginn needs to do is just get a little nick on
He
it.
didn't even catch it that clearly.
No, he didn't.
Caught it in a weird way.
But Leno at that point doesn't know what to do.
It's bad defended.
It is bad defended, but it's a lovely run, and again a lovely ball. And the goalkeeper's kind of helpless because if he lets it go completely, it might go in. If he nods it that way, it might go in. But it's just a little nick and directs it home, and Mcginn scores again in the capital.
I mean, the Arsenal defence are an absolute clown car. And they fully opened their doors and let the officials in there as well to join in the clown car, to be fair, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. We'll certainly come on to it. But again, Mcginn, I've got a bit of a stat with Mcginn. Since he joined in August 2018, Mcginn scored 9 goals. That's the most of any Villa player, current Villa player, in line with Codger as well. Same as Codger.
So in that time,
since McGinn's joined, Codger scored 9, Mcginn scored 9. Nobody else.
Codger scored 9.
Yeah,
I'm surprised by that.
Well,
there we go. You learn something. Notes teach you something new every day.
Unless they're wrong, but that's not wrong. That's 100% right.
That's bound to be wrong.
Seeds of doubt. Yeah. I mean, if it is wrong,
you don't even trust it. That's the worst thing.
I do trust it.
You say it all, you're really confident, and then you just give yourselves a little bit of leeway just in case.
I tell you what it was. What threw me was when you went, what? And then I was like, oh no, but we definitely scored more last year. And then I was
just surprised Codger scored 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise he scored 9 last season. Fair play to the lad.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So Villa looking on top, and then it looks like it's going to get better for Villa. Ainsley Maitland-Niles sent off after 41 minutes. Both bookings fair to me.
Yeah.
He catches.
Sounds very biased though when I'm slagging the referee off, and then it comes to a decision that's gone Villa's way. That's fair.
No, because I'll defend the referee, as we know,
of course,
when needs be. But Maitland-Niles comes over the ball, in my opinion, and catches Taylor. And also, interestingly, on the watching it live, you could see that he looks up, looks at the referee, and then goes down and stays down. But then John Moss has his card out the whole time.
Yeah, you could see his card, and I suddenly remembered it. I saw his card straight away, but I forgot he'd been booked.
Yeah.
Emirates screen doesn't tell you too clearly who's been booked or not a lot. You can't see it properly.
Right.
But then I realised he'd already been booked, and I was like, I'll see you later, mate. You're gone.
So it was taking so long, and Moss had his card out all this time. I was just thinking, right, Moss is going to put his card away here, and then I'm going to have to defend him on the podcast.
The Arsenal players were surrounding him, and I was kind of a little bit like, what? Surely at least one of our players should be around in the referee's ear at this point, but we kind of just walked off and accepted that he was probably gone, which was right.
No, I think Moss kind of got it out and was like, yeah, he's going, kind of thing, to any players, and then Arsenal carried on.
I mean, they confirmed he's not injured as well.
Yeah,
which proves he was rolling around for
no reason. The other thing I should say is I think Neil Taylor had a little look as well. Not as obvious as
it was a little bit high. I don't think it was. It was a dangerous tackle. It's 100% a booking. Yeah. It's not as bad as Neil Taylor's made out. No. Don't get me wrong. But it's a little bit naughty.
Yeah, I think it was a foul and a booking. I think that's all it was. And Maitland-Niles has been sent off twice in 2019.
Rash. I would say he's not really a right back. He's playing there, but he's not really a right back, Maitland-Niles.
But what is he?
I don't know. Yeah. But I don't think he's a right back.
It'd be an interesting one to see where he goes and whether Emery can make a player out of him, because he's a decent player. He's a Premier League Arsenal player.
He's got potential for sure. I think he's naturally a central midfielder.
So what happens when Aston Villa get the one-man advantage and a 1-0 up? You know, we just control it, see out the game, maybe a nice 2-0 easy victory. No.
Oh, no.
No. We get to half-time. Do you want to say something else?
No, I was going to say, first 5-10 of the second half, I thought we continued with the style of play and fluidity that we had in the first half. Then, for whatever reason, we started to go to sit back again.
Yeah, it should be said, in the first half, Arsenal had a couple of snapshots. Saka had a decent shot. I think Aubameyang had a chance as well. But nothing, again, it feels
I've just caught a glimpse of something on your notes that's just so wrong. It's unreal.
The way I've spelt it.
It's just everything about it is wrong. And you've just invented a player.
No, that's Ndoze. That's how you say it.
Gwendoza.
Ndoze.
You don't say it.
You do. You say Ndoze. That's how they say it.
No, Gwendozy, mate.
Not Ndoze.
You're dozy. That's wrong. That's Ndoze.
Anyway, they had a couple of snapshots. It wasn't like Arsenal were invisible in the first half. They had a couple of chances, but
Aubameyang's always scary.
But it feels like once again we're talking about chances that didn't really threaten Heaton too much.
They put one over the bar that they should have done better with, if my mind recalls it correctly.
Yeah, I think that was Saka. Maybe Ndoze. But again, it felt like the first half, Villa on top, and I would say 1-0 up, 10 men, fairly happy here.
Yeah. Because Trezeguet down the right, we've talked about pace, and while I don't think he's absolutely rapid, he's got a bit of pace about him, Trezeguet, and he was causing them issues, and he was getting space down that right hand side. Arsenal, the way they come forward, you're always going to be able to pick them off on the counter-attack a little bit. They're very open, they leave a lot of spaces. And that's the game plan was executed very well in the first half because that was exactly what we did. For whatever reason, the second half, that only seemed to be in small segments, very small segments.
Yeah, it was. Arsenal grew into the game, and whatever Emery said at half-time worked, or whether, I don't know what Smith said didn't work. It felt like we were trying to...
But first 5-10, we just picked up from where we left off.
Yeah. I mean, I think Arsenal were already looking threatening first. Maybe the second half of that 10 minutes.
They went 4-3-2, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they left Pepe up front alongside Aubameyang. They took Saka off at half-time and brought Chambers on. I mean, he's had the last laugh, but quite frankly, when he came on, I thought that's laughable. He's playing at right back for Arsenal Football Club. I had a little chuckle to myself.
I had a couple of Arsenal mates who said, at the time, like on Twitter and whatnot, what Emery out, essentially. What are they doing bringing Chambers on in this situation? Whether he's a good player or not.
He can play right back, which is obviously a start.
Yeah, but it just was like, this is awful. Get rid of him. He's not doing the job. Turns out, worked okay, didn't it?
Mate, that's just... I was laughing because Chambers has been on loan at Fulham and not done great. He's been on loan at Middlesbrough and not done great. Yet his reward is to come back and be involved for Arsenal. This is why I'm saying it's the worst Arsenal side I've ever seen. It's
worth talking about the fact that our two best players, arguably so far this season, Engels and Mings, were at fault for
sure.
two of those goals, and that's a bit frustrating. Frustrating for them as well when they've played so well, and yet essentially they've been a big reason why we lost that.
Well, Engels gave away the penalty and he gave away the free kick. Yeah, and I must say, and it sounds stupid, other than those two brain farts, he looked a class above. Those two at centre back, I was thinking, geez, I can't tell you how much I'd rather we have our centre backs than theirs.
Yeah.
Because their centre backs are ration all over the place, and we didn't capitalise on that at all in the second half, as I think we should have done.
Yeah.
But Engels was at a touch of class, but he just made two absolutely erratic decisions, and they both cost us goals.
Any complaints with the penalty?
Not really. No. It's a clumsy challenge, I would say.
It was clumsy.
It's a penalty.
Yeah.
It's a penalty. I've got no complaints with the penalty, so I can't admit it. No complaints with the penalty. And then I thought, there's a conspiracy against my fantasy football team here because Aubameyang's in it, always takes the penalties, and Pepe steps up instead.
It was Pepe's first goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For the club.
Of course he scored.
He scored...
9 out of 10, they said. He scored 9 out of 10 of his penalties that he took last season in the French league. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, obviously knows what he's doing. It wasn't it was a good penalty, it went in, but it was straight down the middle, wasn't it?
I'm surprised more people don't just go down the middle in penalties.
Do you think? Yeah, because goalkeepers always go.
You'd have to get it... I don't foresee how you can go wrong if you just knock it down the middle, really.
Unless you do it every time.
Yeah, obviously. But you know what I mean? If the keeper dives and you've gone down the middle, it should go in. Unless you've not hit it powerfully enough.
And he's got up.
When he hits the trailing leg of the goalkeeper or whatever.
Yeah.
But usually, you go down the middle. Like Kane did the other day. Kane did one and he went straight down the middle. I think it was against Inter? Or was it for England? I can't even remember. I think he missed for England, didn't he? And then he scored for Tottenham. Scored a pen and he went just under the crossbar. I think it was in the Champions League.
He rocketed one in the corner for England, didn't he?
Yeah, in the Champions League he just side-footed one straight down the middle just underneath the crossbar. That's how you should take a penalty.
There you go.
The keeper 99% out of the time, 99% of the time will dive. I mean, I'm no penalty expert, to be fair, as you saw in the game at Villa Park.
I was going to say that. I was just about to bring that up.
If I'd have gone down the middle in that game, that would have gone in.
Well, true.
Yeah.
There you go.
Point proven.
We all can learn. I've just taken a glimpse of my hair, and it's possibly the worst hair of the podcast so far.
I mean,
certainly this season.
I mean, there's been some real contenders down the years in the podcast booth with your hair, but this looks like it's got the least attention. It looks like it's had a lack of attention for a while now.
It's a real doormat feel.
You were at a wedding at the weekend as well, which makes me think, do you not think, I'm going to a wedding this weekend, I'll sort my hair out, get a cut.
I put product in it.
I mean, you say that like that's a... I mean, how we've got onto this even, I don't know. But you say that like that's a treat for your hair. I'll put some product in on Friday.
Yeah, it's a special occasion.
Every day I have product in my hair.
Yeah, I know, but what's the point? I'm just going to work.
Okay, well, good to know you take pride in your appearance. You're possibly pleased to hear that.
I really don't care.
Well, yeah, we can say.
I do actually I put product if I'm going to a big meeting, but if I'm just in the office, you know.
That's like saying, I'm just going to work. I'm not going to bother changing my pants today.
Are you not? You're supposed to change your pants.
Well, you haven't changed that suit for about 20 years.
Do you know what? I burnt through a hole in the crotch area. It's really annoying.
I think
And so I'm
speaks volumes, mate.
need to go suit shopping. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Villa are 2-1 up.
Nope.
Merely a couple minutes later.
Oh, sorry, yeah, and we had a right. So this is my thing here.
Mcginn.
So yeah, there's another chance, isn't there? So we're playing well. Start the second half for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we sit back. At that point, you can see and you think, we probably shouldn't sit back anymore. So we went for it again.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes, we're level, and we've had another good chance before that. In those 2 minutes, so you're 2-1 up. Lovely goal from Wesley. Lovely moment for me in the crowd because his family were behind me.
Oh yeah.
Hugs all
Oh, yeah,
around.
nice.
Brilliant times for me. They had Brazil flag with them. They were absolutely loving it behind me.
They watched the Villa View?
I mean, we didn't converse.
No,
to be
right.
fair. I'm imagining probably not. So we're 2-1. Nice
I
little,
hope not.
nice little finish from Wesley. And what I will say is, Jack Grealish has showed exactly what he's all about in that moment.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely to watch that. That's where I want to see him. I want to see him
driving-
driving with the ball because
That's
he can cause problems. Cuts it back. Clever finish from Wesley, I thought. Really good finish. Bedlam in the away end. Everyone's hugging everyone. It's absolutely brilliant. So you think, right, let's attack again. Let's get a third. Let's kill this game. Because what Arsenal want you to do with 10 men, they want you to sit back. That's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
I can understand to an extent you sit back and you look to break quickly and pick off the holes, sorry, because they're going to have to come forward. There's going to be gaps. The defence is suspect anyway. But we just sat back and just made no effort to go on the attack, and that's what I don't get. Because the times we look dangerous in the game were when we're attacking.
Yeah. I mean, Arsenal haven't kept a clean sheet for a while.
I wouldn't bank on them
fairly
keeping
sure.
one shit soon, to be honest.
Well, exactly, but everybody knows that the weakest part of their team is at the back, and we exploited that. You know, Villa aren't going to score a huge amount of goals. They're not going to put 8 past Watford, but they
never know.
they already scored 2 against Arsenal. And therefore, why aren't you continuing to do that? And it was just so frustrating.
We were causing them damage doing it. That's what I don't get. We looked like we were going to score when we came forward. It hasn't been the case in it. A lot of games this season, but certainly the last 2.
Yeah.
I just don't get. I mean, Smith's come out and said he wasn't telling them to do that. Mcginn, you got some quotes from Mcginn there about what he said. But someone's making that call. It's coming from somewhere that we sit back because collectively that's what was happening.
Yeah.
I think at the point where it's 2-1 and we're starting to get a bit overrun in midfield with 10 men, which is a concern in itself, you've then, and this is down to Smith and his coaching staff, you've got to make subs.
Yeah.
You have to make subs. Second game running, use of substitutes is terrible.
Yes.
Mcginn was visibly knackered. He had nothing left. Okay, but he's probably been our best player during that game, to be fair, up until the 70th minute. Mcginn, he was brilliant. He's put so much into the game. And what I will say about Mcginn and Jack is the way we set up and the style of play, there was a lot of onus on them backwards and forwards. Grealish and Mcginn, they have to get through a lot of running. But Mcginn was same. Grealish on Monday was dead on his feet, stayed on the pitch. Mcginn was dead on his feet on yesterday.
Yeah.
You can take. They're your best players, but you can change them.
I think.
And he was crying out for fresh legs in the midfield. Nakamba was knackered as well, and he eventually came off. But he's come off at the point we're losing the game.
But aren't you hitting on a bigger thing here? You know, substitutes are all well and good, and we didn't use them correctly. But if everyone seems to be knackered, then
that's a problem.
Then there's a bigger problem. Wayne Homer says here, I've seen a lot of people talk about us not being fit. Yet Dean Smith says running stats are through the roof. Do you see that this is an issue and part of the reason for our inability to win games and beat 10 men in the last 2 games in particular? There are a few questions about the team's fitness, and I do think that has to be looked at because we haven't looked like we could last 90 minutes yet this season.
As I've said, Mcginn and Grealish are obviously, I don't have stats for that kind of thing in front of me.
Yeah.
But out of central midfielders in the Premier League, I would envisage defensively they have to do as much work as anyone in the league because they are backwards and forwards non-stop. Mcginn is a machine, but we know how fit Mcginn is as well.
Yeah.
But he was he needed to be taken off. Everyone around me where I was sitting could see Mcginn needed to come off. And it's not like you haven't got central midfielders on the bench. That's what I don't understand. It's not like the front 3 where if you make a change, you haven't really got anyone to come on.
Yeah.
There's options on that bench for midfield. And I'm sure we would have seen the game out had we got some fresh legs in that midfield, but he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to want to take Mcginn or Jack off at any point. They're phenomenal players, both of them. I love them both, but you can't. It's almost like saying I can't afford to have these 2 off the pitch. But if they're knackered, They're no good to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head there, where we have strength in depth in central midfield, and it's such an important position. And we have people that we rely on and that we know can do it. You know, you've got Luis, who's looked good. And
I think he was punished. I don't know how true it is. People were saying that he was not in the E10 yesterday because he got caught drinking on Thursday night or something.
Oh, really?
And to be fair, he was posting some stuff like that on his Instagram on Thursday night because I saw it.
So stupid.
Yeah,
so stupid.
I don't know how true that is. Though. That's what people were saying.
But as in posting anything on your Instagram is a stupid idea. But then you've got Conor Hourihane.
You don't use yours.
Yeah, 100%. You've got Conor, who, like, we're not allowed to talk about on this podcast. We do anyway. Accused of being biased, but everybody's kind of, not everybody, but lots of people are turning and saying, why isn't he being involved? And Lansbury's another one that, you know, has been used by Smith a reasonable amount this season. You're absolutely right. We've got the players that are almost like for like, as possible as it can be, to replace Grealish. And
they've got different strengths, haven't they? But if you're trying to see a game out,
yeah,
and you're getting overrun in midfield by 10 men. What did Arsenal do? What were their subs? They brought 2 central midfielders on, and that was what turned the game.
Yeah.
Because they got fresh legs in the middle of the park.
And Callum Chambers.
Callum Chambers. Jesus Christ. Callum Chambers scoring against us. What's the world come to?
Yeah.
But you've got to make the change. Nakamba was knackered as well, to be fair to him. He's new to the country, new to the league. At this stage, he's probably not going to last 90 minutes. And you've ended up bringing Nakamba off anyway.
Yeah.
But you brought him off when we're losing the game. It's too reactive. It's not proactive. That was what we used to say about Bruce.
100%, and we've made that comparison in the last couple of weeks, and it's you know, it's different, but it's similar. There are similarities between these two. I've got a bit of a kind of internal battle with myself where when Smith first came into the Championship, it didn't all go quite right for him, and then we went on that 10-game run, and things got a lot better. So I want to urge myself to remember that the first half was really good, and there should be patience there. But at the same time, like we said at the top of the show, you're okay to be frustrated that we haven't come away with more from that. And tactics is one of them. David Lewis would love to hear your views on game management and substitutions. I feel like we've let ourselves down 2 games on the spin with poor tactics late in the game.
I would agree with that.
David Cook, why are we playing worse against 10 men? I wonder if this is something Dean Smith can address. For that question, I feel like Dean Smith is probably scratching his own head.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're playing against 10 men, you shouldn't be getting less possession in that game. And Arsenal had 59%, and we had 41% in possession. I don't think that should happen against 10 men.
Yeah,
especially as we're a team that you deem to be comfortable on the ball.
Use the ball, yeah.
Tire out the 10 men. Yeah. The 10 men were tiring us out. And I will say, I've watched a lot of Arsenal since, even like when we were in the Championship and Guendouzi last season. He's a breakthrough player. He's a good player. He's going to be a really good player. I've never seen him slaloming.
Yeah.
And weaving his way.
It's a verb, but
weaving his way through midfielders, taking people on and dribbling through like he did yesterday. He's not that type of player. But yesterday, he was managing to dribble through our midfield like it wasn't even there and into the box. He won a penalty.
Yeah.
Was it him that won the free kick? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
He went on a few mazy runs, and I'm thinking, I've not seen this from Guendouzi in any other game, or Endouzi, or whatever you call him. Yeah,
I tell you, I wrote these notes as I was watching it, and the guy, whoever was commentating, was like Endouzi or Endouzi. I can't remember.
I think it's Guendouzi, man. I think you've misheard. You've definitely misheard that.
Lou, I think I'm in the minority, but I don't blame Smith for the players sitting back. Wesley and Mcginn both said that that wasn't what they were told to do.
That's worrying.
I do think the criticism of the subs is fair, though. Best team for 70 minutes, in my opinion. So gutted with the result. Need to start learning fast.
I think everything Lou said there is bang on, to be honest. But someone is saying sit back, and I find it hard to believe a player just takes it upon themselves to say, let's sit back, lads, and they all just go along with it. Like, how do you collectively end up with 11 players playing in that way if it's not a managerial instruction? To be fair, ever since I've been a Villa fan, we have had a tendency to do that, and it's never really worked. But they didn't do it last season. Why are they suddenly doing it now? I know it's Premier League, but it was so obvious to me that if we carried on attacking and picked them off on the counter, we would score again and see that game out. but we just did the opposite of what you should do. And game management's the key phrase that's been bandied around, and the game management was terrible yesterday.
Adam Crow, why do you feel Dean Smith went against putting Lansbury and Hourihan on when we clearly needed people who could pass the ball to relieve pressure? Do you think Dino doesn't fancy Connor and potentially Emery, especially holding mid?
I mean, he's given Connor a new contract in the summer, so he must like him.
Yeah.
He started the season with them.
Season.
Didn't really do anything wrong in the Spurs game, to be fair.
Presumably he'll play tomorrow night against
he'll play in the Cup and Lansbury will. So he kind of came off in the Spurs game and the game was 1-1. There's this fascination for the holding midfielder still, and there is merits for it in some situations. But when Connor came on, he won a tackle straight away and just passed it off simple, and we were on the attack again. I can understand. If Dean Smith doesn't fancy him as a star, that's fine. That's the way he is. He's bought Nakamba and Louise. He's probably going to favour them in the holding midfield role. What I would say is, as a player to bring on, he's brilliant. Brilliant to bring on. He's got a lot of assets that are useful as coming on as a substitute. Utilise him. Didn't even come on the other night.
Yeah.
Brought him on when we're behind, and to be fair,
he had our best chance.
He's won us a penalty. What hasn't been given.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it.
He's a danger. He's a danger man. A great 12th man to have, I would say, coming off the bench. He'd always be the first one off the bench for me if he's not playing.
I agree.
Because he's a danger player.
Yeah, I agree. So at this point, it should be said we're still 2-1 up. But the players are. But the players are tiring, and Arsenal are pressing. They're looking lively. Then we're 10 minutes away from a very, very important win here, and then it's just a bit of a moment of madness. The Chambers has the first chance. It's the cross is blocked, and Mings, instead of kind of just getting his neck right through it and getting rid of it, he kind of heads it down, looking for Taylor,
who's surprised by it.
And probably tired himself. Gets caught out, and Chambers just reacts that little bit quicker and blasts it past Heaton.
It's a bad goal to concede.
Yeah, Mings will be annoyed at that.
It comes from we're trying to play out from the back, and we are a lot of the time we're very good at it. But you got to know when to do it and when, and as I say, that's why we out Arsenal.
Yeah,
because we found a way to make a mistake and give him a goal, and I don't even think it's the best finish in the world. I don't think Chambers really, he's got a bit of a nosebleed, hasn't he? He's just swung his foot at it, and it's worked out perfectly for the lad.
Yeah.
And I bet he can't believe it.
Very, very annoying. And then, 5 minutes later, Aubameyang scores from the free kick. And the free kick, we've had a couple of questions about whether the free kick should have been disallowed because there were players in the wall. I mean, I don't want to be the one that defends referees anymore. I'm sick of it, quite frankly.
But it's always you. You're like Balotelli. You need one of those T-shirts. Why always me?
Yeah, exactly. Why always refs? Technically, the wall has to be a consistent line, and there's 3 guys that are in this consistent line of wall. Now, Nduzi is at least a yard away from them.
I thought it was Chambers behind the wall.
But then Chambers is behind the wall. So that
interacting with the wall.
So that one is the one that you can kind of complain about, I think.
That's what I am complaining
about. But then
he
moves away. I don't know if he's supposed to be told by John Moss to have left already. He moves away before the free kick is kicked.
He's hassled the wall.
Yeah, I think he has. So I think there's a case for that one to be a legitimate interference with the wall. But the rule is still so kind of unproven that potentially the referees aren't that clear on it.
The rules are a joke.
I think
the referees don't know the rules.
I think a lot of the rules that have been brought in are quite good, like the being able to pass in from your penalty box is good. Yeah. The uncontested drop balls are getting the play going quicker. You can take a quick free kick straight away. That's
so basically
good.
The referees know the simple rules, but they don't know the
complicated
ones.
I think that because they don't happen as often. Moss has got it wrong. I think I'm pretty sure I need to see it again.
Why did VAR not look at that? That is
we're going to come on
obvious error by the referee because he's not seen something that's breaking the rules.
We come on to VAR in a minute.
But there for that one.
But I don't know.
It's clear and obvious that the referee has not understood the rules.
VAR can only do certain things, though, right? It's not always just
they can disallow goals.
But yeah, I suppose they can. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a farce.
I don't know.
It's just added another layer of confusion. Another layer of a ref. I mean, the person in VAR yesterday, he doesn't even have the qualification that Premier League referees have. He's a Championship referee.
Yeah.
Surely he needs the qualification to be VAR.
Has he ever? Presumably, he doesn't have a.
He doesn't have. Is it PGOL?
That's the Referees Association, isn't it?
He doesn't have that licence or something.
He's not
the guy that was in the VAR.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what.
That's wrong.
I don't know what what you have to be in the booth.
You should know. You should know.
I will. I didn't know that.
This is why you're in this booth.
I'm going to find out.
You're supposed to know stuff.
I feel like I'm having a John Moss kind of night tonight, to be honest. I'm tired.
We're upset.
I'm fed up.
I'm upset. I'm really upset.
Well, so a minute later, then we really have. I've had a really busy day, and yet I'm still annoyed.
I'm just upset. I got about 2 hours sleep because I was so upset.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. Ange, bless her as well. After the game, she's texting me, and she's asked me what the score was, as she normally does, and I was like, lost 3-2. I'm fuming. She's not watched the game. She doesn't know the story of how everything's unfolded.
Right.
Oh, not too bad considering who you're playing. Yes, Ange, it is too bad. It is bad.
It's worse than anything.
It's terrible.
Annoying.
She's trying to make me feel better, but made me feel worse.
Yeah. Did she? Was she sympathetic when you got in, or was she just like, okay?
I think she was half asleep. To be honest, I got back relatively late.
Nah.
Later than I said I would be.
Right.
She wasn't cross, but I was back later than I said I would be.
Fair enough.
But yeah, VAR and the refs. It does feel a bit like a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy, but it feels a bit that way at the moment.
The problem I've got with VAR, and it's not Villa specific, it's across the league, is that they are getting as many things wrong as they are right. They're not helping the referees at the moment. They're just making things worse because they're not reviewing, or they seem to be reviewing the decisions and not changing them when it's blatantly obvious. Like, it works in cricket because the video umpire could look at something and go, yeah, that's out, yeah, that's not out. The VAR, they don't seem to be making any changes. Even though the Socrates handball, which we'll come on to now, Conor Hurahan rifles it, it's going on straight on goal. Whether Leno's going to save it or not's a different matter. Hits him straight in the arm, there's absolutely no doubt about it. First, John Moss should see it. But they review it on VAR and they still say there's nothing wrong. The rule is now that if it hits your arm at all, then it's a free kick or a penalty. There's absolutely no doubt.
Especially when you move your arm towards it.
Doesn't even matter.
It's laughable.
Doesn't even matter.
It's just, as I say, it's just another layer of obnoxious referees not wanting to upset their mates, not wanting to make their mate look bad.
This is Dermot.
That's what he said. No.
VAR.
They don't want to. So how is a gutless Championship referee who's not got the right qualifications? Why is he going to overturn a Premier League referee? But he's not going to do it, is he?
Oh no! now my computer's going to break because I've knocked my water over it. For goodness sake, John Moss!
He's just not going to. But you know what I'm saying? He's not qualified to make the decisions. He's not going to overrule a Premier League referee. It's just not going to happen.
That they should be a team, right? So if John Moss has got it wrong, the VAR
John Moss doesn't even know who this guy is. He's a Championship referee.
Who cares about that? Whether he's the best referee in the world, he should be going to John Moss. Look, pal, you've got this one wrong. Let's get it right together, kind of thing. That's what it should be. I don't know why they're not.
That isn't how it works.
That is not how it works.
That isn't how it's been working.
100%. And I've defended referees to my back teeth, and I can't do it today.
I thought VAR great.
Yes,
I agree. Be good for the game.
Yep.
It's not. VAR seems to stand for Villa aren't reviewed as well. Because they don't want to know. They just don't want to know with Villa.
Did you make that up or did you steal it from someone?
I made it up on the. I was trying to think of something earlier and I managed to. That was the best I could come up with.
That's when you went glazed over and didn't answer my point.
Mate, it's such a blatant penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether Connor's shot was going in. It probably wasn't, but it was certainly going on target.
Yeah.
Like, it's just obvious. They just don't want to. They don't want to make the decision. And then the worst thing is, I get home. I watched Match of the Day 2, and they say, we've been told that if it'd been given as a penalty, we wouldn't have overturned it. What's the point? You're basically saying whatever decision gets made, they don't overturn it.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, no, I don't.
I didn't make sense.
No, but what you've just said doesn't make sense.
And that's what they've said there.
Yeah.
So what's the point? There's literally 0 point to it.
My point has always been that Villa fans, us, should not hide behind the referee for the reason that we've lost games.
We've got enough problems ourselves. We've made enough problems ourselves, but we've been done by 2 real high-profile errors now.
Yeah.
And I mean, we may have missed the penalty, but it'd be nice to know.
Yeah, we definitely would.
It'd be nice to know, wouldn't it? Nice to know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing really left to say on that.
And I'd have still been upset with 3-3. I still wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah, I guess if we got back to it.
But I've been relieved.
Yeah.
A point would have been nice. But we don't even get the chance. It's like the Crystal Palace game. I don't want to keep going back to it, but then that's a joke decision at the end of 2 games now. 2 big games, and that have changed the outcome of the game. But I mean, the Crystal Palace game definitely changed the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the justice? And then Sky Sports News, Dermot Gallagher, Oh, well, his arm didn't make a move towards the ball. Yes, he did, Dermot.
And that doesn't matter. That honestly doesn't matter.
But it does matter, because it's even more of a penalty because he stuck his arm out.
It's no more a penalty. It's either a penalty or it's not, and it's a penalty. So it doesn't matter whether he's doing this or whether it's down there.
Stephen Warner and Sue Smith, they're like, come on, Dermot. Come on, stop hiding.
Yeah.
That's a penalty.
He's lost all credibility over this season. I feel like maybe it's again because Villa are involved, but I feel like he was more objective before, and whether the referees have said, come on, you need to be a bit more supportive. But he's not saying anything, and at that point, what's the point in having him?
What is it? I know he used to be a referee.
Yeah.
Has he got a job within... I know Mike Riley's got a job, for example. He's overseeing VAR, isn't he, Mike Riley?
Yeah, but I'm not sure you can work as a pundit and as an official referee.
That's true.
Something.
I just wondered if he had any kind of role.
You possibly can. You can do after dinner speaking.
Exactly. After dinner, John Moss has probably got an event coming up as well. Him and Kevin Friend combined to do an event on doing Villa over.
This decision seems to have... I didn't realise, because I didn't really
realise at the time of the
vocalised
game how bad it was.
Yeah, but I'm more wound up about this than I was about the Palace game. Maybe... No, actually, that doesn't make it... actually, it does make sense.
I'm equally as wound up, I would say.
Because we were in such a good position against Arsenal, and we played well for a reasonable amount of the game. I'm annoyed at Villa, I'm annoyed at the tactics, and I'm annoyed at that result and that incident in particular.
I mean, the way we gifted goals and the way we set ourselves up in the second half, we got what we deserved from that point of view. I mean, annoyingly as well, when we're 3-2 down, suddenly we're full of energy again. Suddenly we know how to attack and we look dangerous. Where was that before?
Always happens.
Where was it? Just madness.
And I'm sure I'm still going to get a load of people saying, why are you defending the referee? I'm clearly not.
I mean, you can literally say anything and people will say, why are you defending the
That's what annoys me even more. So that's it.
No, I'm not. I don't know whether I've finished. Probably have.
Villa...
It was very reminiscent, and Greg Evans said this on Twitter, I think. I can't remember if it was his article or not. It was very reminiscent of that Leicester game the season we went down.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent. I mean, Villa are in a different place to then, so I don't think it's going to be as catastrophic as that. We're a happier club now, heading in the right direction with stuff that we believe in, whereas back then we were just a mess. But it was that collapse was very reminiscent. It's around a similar time as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
Masters of our own downfall, for sure. But then we don't get any help from the officials.
I think going back to what people are saying, and Villa K2, if I can find it... And here we are. I think we need a dose of realism. Of course it's disappointing, but in reality, without the claret specs, surely this was all to be expected.
Not yesterday.
I think what's important to remember is winning is a habit, and so is losing. You know, you start losing these close games that maybe you should be getting a draw or a win out of, and very soon you're losing regularly.
Because it'll keep happening.
Well, exactly. That's what regularly means.
We've spent more time ahead in games throughout the opening 6 games of the season than Sheffield United have.
Yeah.
They got more points than us.
That's a good fact.
Yeah. So we've got problems. They can certainly be rectified.
Yes.
But suddenly now you look at Burnley on Saturday and you think, we have to win that. I mean, I thought that against West Ham a little bit. We have to win this game or take something to this game. Burnley, we really need a win on Saturday, but it won't be easy.
Burnley's a tough game. Yeah.
Norwich beat Man City. Burnley made light work of Norwich this weekend. Burnley are a drilled side. They know what they're doing. They'll come to sport. They'll quite happily come and spoil our day. And they've got some dangerous players.
Yeah.
Barnes is a very underrated striker. I know it wasn't him who scored at the weekend, but Ashley Barnes is a very underrated player. He's a good player. They play a simple 4-4-2, physical forwards. They'll cause us problems.
Yeah. The only good thing about that is that the defensive side of the ball is where I'm most happy.
Yeah,
from our point of view.
We all thought that, but then we suddenly start chucking everything.
People will have lapses in concentration. That happens. We got punished, unfortunately. I still back Mings and Engels to be the ones that put it right on Saturday. It's just whether we can score 2 again, because last week we were talking about where the goals come from. So you've got to be positive and you've got to go again. But we do need to start winning some games, because that's pretty important too.
I mean, I think of all the goals we've conceded this season. Harry Kane's third, lovely goal. But even in that game, a couple of errors. And if you make an error, you would get punished. The Harry Kane goals, the only one I can think of out of the goals that we've conceded, where I really think we couldn't really done much about that, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's not good for the podcast when I think. But
well, Jack dribbled the ball out against Spurs. That was a mistake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got picked off and they scored.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, we made two horrendous errors.
Yeah.
Give them 2 goals.
Palace,
bit unlucky with the bounces, which has also been a trait that's happened quite a lot this season.
Yeah.
Arsenal, we've give him a goal, give him a penalty, give him a free kick. So we're giving goals, and you can't do that. Despite the fact, I would say we've been very good defensively, actually.
Yeah.
Mings and Engels, that's the first mistakes they've made this season, to be fair. Unfortunately, it's happened at the same game, which is never good. Do you know what I mean? We very rarely a team scoring goals and you're thinking, fair play, they've done us there.
Yeah.
We've given goals away.
Do you want a little fact? Only 9 times in the Premier League have a team won after having a man sent off when they're already losing. Arsenal have done that 3 times. 3 times out of the 9.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Like, Arsenal are not what they were.
No,
he's not a good outfit.
And
Aubameyang's a very good player.
Speaking again to Arsenal fans, if Emery loses that game, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And now they've come out and they've won it, and obviously it's not all rosy in the garden, but that's a big result for him personally.
I think Arsenal are embarrassing. I find them embarrassing. I think I already said that at the start.
You said certainly
they are
derogatory things.
So far away from that Invincibles team. I know that team's kind of a bit of a one-off, isn't it? But they've had other good teams through the years.
Oh yeah, the Wenger times.
Other than Aubameyang, I don't see anything there that's anything special. Really.
David Luiz is special, but in his own way. Let's go back.
I like Bellerin. He's out injured at the moment. Midfield's just absolutely bang average.
Yeah,
bang average.
Dean Smith said after the game, you look at the goals we conceded and they are sloppy. We concede a penalty, give away a free kick. Second goal, Tyrone Mings has a cushioned header, but should have put it out for a corner. I think he could have got away with more than a corner, to be honest. I thought it was a penalty, the Socrates decision. He leant towards the ball, which is going towards the goal. But if you're asking someone about handballs in the box these days, I don't know, and I don't think anyone does. It's easy. It hits your arm. It's a penalty, for goodness sake.
It's definitely a penalty if you put your arm out.
We have seen some subjective ones. If they get a good view on the TV screens, they need to overrule it. I mean, again, a few people in the comments asking whether Smith is a bit arrogant or a bit ignorant not to go and change his formation because these things aren't working. That doesn't come across to me at all. He keeps on telling the truth. We are conceding sloppy goals, and rightly so, we've been hard done by in the last minutes.
For the players we have got, I don't agree with all this change system stuff. We've got players to play that system.
Yeah.
I don't know that we could play any other system. I don't think it works because we've bought players around the fact that we play 4-3-3.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that you said I haven't got it right. Oh yeah, Fayaz Garda. Apologies if I've butchered that. Gary Neville said that his biggest mistake in management was going against his principles when the going went tough. That considered, would you suggest Smith deviating from the 4-3-3 formation would be an overreaction to recent results? You agree?
I just agree with the fact that over the years I've seen so many Villa managers. Tim Sherwood did it, Lambert's done it, where things go bad and they'll just panic and go to 3 at the back or something with absolutely no idea how to play. Look at Steve Bruce at Newcastle at the moment. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing.
No.
He doesn't know his best team, doesn't know his best formation. So by default, he panics and goes to 3 at the back, but he hasn't got the players to play it.
Yeah.
I'd be against, especially this early, abandoning his principles. There was a game last season, Ipswich at home, where we were on a bit of an iffy run, and for that game he changed to a 4-2-3-1. You might change your system for the odd game here. For example, if you went to Man City and you worked at 3 on the back all week, I could see why you might do that and change your system for that game.
Yeah.
The 2 best teams in the country play 4-3-3. Liverpool and City. But they play 4-3-3 and they absolutely dominate possession. We play 4-3-3 and we're not dominating possession. So that's kind of going to cause you a problem, I would say. That's why most teams set up in a 4-2-3-1, because it gives you a bit of protection to the back 4. We've possibly got the players to play that formation. I was thinking about this earlier in the fact that I think Spurs a lot of the time play 4-2-3-1 and Eriksen ends up... He's a number 10 Eriksen, isn't he?
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. But when they play 4-2-3-1, Eriksen either is playing on the left or the right.
Yeah.
So you think Jack could float around playing on the left probably in a 4-2-3-1. I know he doesn't want to play there. That would mean playing Nakamba and Louise or Nakamba and Horan having to play as a holder.
Yeah.
Mcginn as a number 10. 4-3-3 is the formation, I think. We've just got to be better at it. That's what I'd say. And the lack of options up front is a problem. Lansbury ends the game playing left wing. So if we end in a game that we're behind with Lansbury left wing and El Mohammadi right wing.
It's not ideal, is it?
No.
At Booth _10. We need 9 points for the next 3 games. Nothing less now. Let's do it. I've just got
7, I think.
Got the fixtures up. I mean, yeah. Brighton in the Cup, obviously. Aston Villa, Burnley, Norwich away, and then Brighton at home.
The 3 games you can take something from for sure.
Yeah. I mean, 9 points is a big shout.
The 2 after that are a bit upsetting.
Yeah. So Matt Collins says we've Burnley, Norwich, and Brighton before 2 losses versus Liverpool and City. How many points from these 3 games to reassure you we can do it? I mean, I don't know. It's
got to win Saturday. Got to win Saturday. You have to.
Yeah. Well, so once we're out of that list, we'll be 11 games in. So that'll be a third of the way through the season almost. And we'll really know where we are then.
Yeah.
Because I think Booth's right, and Matt Collins. Those 3 big are big. Burnley at home, Brighton at home, Norwich away.
The 3 teams you'd expect would be around you.
Yeah, but Burnley and Norwich certainly playing nice football. Brighton absolutely have to win at home.
No, we're at home, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry, to beat them at home.
The next 2 home games are must win, I would say.
Yeah.
They're Brighton, I mean, they're playing against Newcastle, to be fair. Decent. They've got a methodology. They know how they're playing, don't they?
No, there's no mugs in this league, are there?
Of course there's not.
6 or 7 points there would be great. Really, really good. I think 9 points is a bit of a stretch considering what we've seen so far. But if we can play like we did in the first half,
we will cause teams problems playing like that.
People trouble, yeah. And I think it should be mentioned as well. I was a bit harsh on him in the previous weeks, but Wesley looked a bit more lively, especially in the first half. Again, got people around him. Again, a bit frustrated in the second half because he was trying to get people up with him.
In that situation,
but it's
from
impossible.
70 minutes onwards, there's not much he can do.
Yeah, but we should be able to do that with 10 men against 10 men, right?
This is the thing where, again, people keep saying about perspective, you're playing Arsenal. Yeah, but we're playing a whole second half against 10 men.
Yeah.
We should be the ones tiring them out, not vice versa.
Right, that's enough.
You're calling it.
I'm going to burst a vessel. Some good news from
much of that around
from
recently.
this week. James Chester is playing tonight for the under-23s against Manchester United in Premier League 2.
Just how we're getting on?
Yeah, see how we're getting on. So good to see him coming back. He's obviously had knee injuries, hamstring injuries, and given so much to Villa. So really hope that he can at least get back in contention, if not be playing. Because
we're winning 4-1.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
We're 4-0 up at half time.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored.
No, but he's playing. There's some pictures of him here. Looking magnificent.
Good, glad to see it, and
Love James Chester.
Hopefully he can get through the game unscathed. So that's a bit of good news. We play Brighton in the Cup tomorrow. How
is it tomorrow? Is it Wednesday?
What today is it? Today it's Wednesday.
What today is it today?
Exactly.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. Apologies. Yep. What kind of team are you expecting for the Brighton game?
Horan and Lansbury will play. Probably Conser will play. If Target's fit, he might get a game.
Yeah.
Steer will obviously be in goal, but
El Mohammadi?
I'd be against making wholesale changes. I want to try and do well in the Cups because I think Cups can give you a bit of momentum as well. I want to try and do well in the Cups this year, so I'd be against making wholesale changes. I think Brighton will probably make wholesale changes as well, so it does kind of even it up if both teams are doing it, but definitely a winnable game. I think we can go there and win.
Do you think Davis plays?
I'd be inclined to keep Wesley.
Getting a bit of form.
Get some goals. I mean, obviously, if he gets injured, we're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Numbers wise, Codger's not going to be back, is he? He's still got his cheek injury, cheek bone injury. I just think just go there and just attack again. Just attack and cut out the individual errors, and you'll win the game.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, McGinn probably won't play.
Do you think Steer plays?
Yeah, Steer will play. Steer will play throughout the cup run. It's like his reward for last season.
Yeah,
isn't it really? It's his birthday today.
Ah,
happy birthday, Jed.
Happy birthday.
Avid listener.
Many happy returns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the cup is what it is, isn't it? But I'd like to see us go for a cup. With 3 years in the Championship, we've almost sacrificed the Cups promotion or nothing, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'd like to see us have a good run in the Cups because I like a yearly visit to Wembley.
It's becoming
Don't we all?
becoming tradition.
You'll be missing Box Park. You don't care about the game. You just want to go to Box Park.
I went in Box Park the other day for when I was at the England game.
You text me.
It was a great time had by all. Actually, it wasn't. It wasn't anywhere near as magnificent as hugging Rich, Villa Rich.
Villa Rich.
And yeah, the euphoria of May. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to go back to Wembley.
I think I had us down to win the League Cup in the predictions as well, so that'd be handy.
I'd rather not go down.
Oh yeah.
If that's the choice, I'd rather stay up than go to Wembley.
I don't think they're exclusive to each other, are they?
But sometimes they are.
No, I think a cup run could be a boost. I think it can give you momentum in the Premier League.
Yeah,
let's go for it.
Okay. All right then. We've got one more big announcement. I'm falling apart at the end of this podcast.
A sad announcement. Just when you think it can't get any worse.
Yeah. So last week we announced the departure of Chris Dolan. Today we bid adieu to the kind of
main man, really,
the creator of the Villa View, the kind of linchpin, if you. The Matt linchpin. That's so bad.
You couldn't resist.
I couldn't. It got in my head.
It was so obvious as well. It just didn't need to be done because everyone listening would have just said it in their head, but thought, "Oh, that's so poor."
Yeah,
and they won't be able to believe that you've done it. On air.
There you go. Dan Rolinson is leaving the Villa View. He's got a job with Birmingham Live.
To be honest, it's about time he got a job.
Yes, and so first things first, congratulations to Rollo. We've had several conversations since we found out the news. So
some have taken it better than others.
Yeah, totally deserved. Rollo has made
a fancy job title, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, he's a
multimedia producer.
Tweeted him. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. Yeah,
no,
I think you've got right or not.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is kind of part of the reason that Villa View was started: give the fans a voice, but also showcase Rollo's ability as a cameraman, as a producer, as an editor, and he's done some wonderful things. The Villa game, the Villa Park game.
We'll say it's taken him 3.5 years to get noticed.
Yeah, so we've got a little longer to go.
Yeah,
but
you haven't been involved for as long as me.
Exactly. So your time is coming. So Rollo's no longer going to be involved in anything that we do. For all intents and purposes, me and you are going to be steering the ship.
I mean, what I will say is, I feel we're a bit like Nassef and Wes.
Yeah,
a little bit, and he's Dr. Tony because he handed over the bank account.
He's not like that.
I was shocked by what I saw in the accounts, the Villa View accounts. What has he been doing?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a good ride.
We certainly can't afford to pay the tax bill. That's a fact.
So if we're here next week, or if the lights are just shut off,
yeah, he gives us the bank account. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. He hasn't even sent me the bank account.
No, he hasn't sent it me either.
Oh, right,
we will take charge of it.
Fine.
It's a worrying situation for the channel as a whole that me and you are in charge of it.
That's the biggest concern.
That is a worry.
So the Villa View stuff is going to continue. We're going to do everything, I think, now that we're currently do. We're bringing on Jacob Fernall and John Inslee, who have done bits and pieces for the channel before as well. Great guys and know their way around editing software, unlike me and Dan.
Some would say John was the brains behind the Villa View Live because he was the one who seemed to be doing a lot of the technical stuff to me. Rollo was panicking a little bit, wasn't he?
I mean,
around the place.
Seems harsh on Rollo.
John Inslee was the one who kept it cool and seemed to know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm not going to make a comment on that. So we're going to carry on what we're doing. It may change slightly, and there may be a little bit of a transition period. So bear with us as we kind of move on.
Yeah, there's going to be Rollo's doing his kind of handover.
Yeah.
This week, isn't he, to Jacob and John? We must thank them for. I mean, to be honest, I've not even spoken to John. As John said that he's happy to be involved.
Yeah, he's in.
Oh, is he? He's in. I can't have spoken to him.
You're in, John.
We only really speak about shirts on eBay usually. So,
right.
Yeah.
And so Dan sent me a little message here. From my perspective, starting the Villa View with Matt and building it to a position where I can step away and it still continue is pretty amazing. I recognised a while back that it was a good platform to build a portfolio to impress, and so hopefully that's going to be the same for others that get involved. So yeah, we're going to. Now that the kids have been let loose, I think we're going to try a few different things, aren't we?
That's what you keep saying.
Over the next kind of rest of season and see what happens, really. There's a couple of ideas that we want to play around with.
Ideally, we'd like to get jobs.
Yeah, sure. Well, one day. But
Don't be too enthusiastic about it, mate.
let's see what happens. But what we want to do is keep making great content as much as time allows. So we're going to push on where we can. Keep with us. See what happens. I mean, voice your frustration by all means in our DMs. Probably better than public domain. Don't turn other people off. But we're going to do the best we can. See what happens. But congratulations to Rollo mainly. That's a really important step for him, and good luck.
I will say it's not coming across, but I am very pleased for him.
Yeah,
I am pleased for him. For me, it's like I feel like me and him have been on kind of the same journey. So for me, it's a little bit sad because he's all I've ever known, really, with the Villa View. Probably someday I speak to him more than I speak to my wife. So we've got a very close relationship. Me and Rollo over the years since doing the Villa View. It's sad to me to lose him, and because he's so good.
Yeah.
He's really, really good. Although, to be honest, some of Jacob Fernell stuff that I've seen him do, the match experiences and stuff, he's up there with stuff that Rollo can do. Rollo's taught him a few things.
Yep.
So that's a positive. It'd be good to get Jacob involved, and it helps him as well with his uni work. So that's good. But it's bittersweet because I am quite sad about it.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
It's a bit of a tough blow to swallow, to lose Dolan and then to lose Rollo in a couple of weeks. Completely different situations, and both of them for the right reasons. So we'll wish them both well. But yeah, we'll keep on trucking and see what happens.
Don't you go and get a job now?
Well, no chance.
I'll finish me off, I think.
No chance of that. There is one more thing that we wanted to finish with.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it over to you for this one.
Yeah, Josh Nicholson. The family's been absolutely through the mill. The kid's had leukemia twice, has come out the other end of that twice, but it appears it never goes away. And he's been diagnosed again, this time with cancer in his eye. I mean, he's such a lovely, lovely kid, lovely family. I've spent a little bit of time with them over the years, and to be honest, we're sitting here moaning about Villa losing to Arsenal, but that's meaningless compared to what the Nicholsons are going through at the moment. So we just wanted to send our best to them.
100%.
Horrible news. I mean, the kids had no childhood at all without cancer, really, and it's just so sad. But the kid also, he's a massive fighter, a massive warrior, and we send him our best and hope that all the Villa View public will send their best to him as well. Really sad. Yeah,
man, the whole Villa fan base is behind you, Josh. So keep fighting, like Dan says. Absolutely amazing and an inspiration to many. So just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, we're all behind you.
Yeah, just feel such lovely people, as I say. It's just that the world is a horrible, mean and nasty place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems like a sad place to finish, but there you go.
Yeah.
We're going to be back. What's happening? After there's going to be a preview of the Burnley game.
Yeah, me and Jazz will jump into the booth at some point and do a preview. I don't know when. And then fan cams on Saturday. Rollo's last fan cams.
Yeah, so come and say goodbye to Rollo if you've liked what he's done ever.
Give him a hug. He loves a hug.
Give him a hug. Maybe some money. We need some money in the account.
Yeah, please. We might just go. Can you come down with some buckets?
No, can you use one of these?
Do fan cams, please. I've got.
Fill a mug.
If anyone wants to buy 40 mugs off us that me and Tom have just acquired as well, that'd be great.
That's the collateral we get.
What are we going to do with them?
I think we'll have a pre-Christmas sale.
We'll have to do something, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 mugs for sale if anyone wants to take them off our hands.
There you go.
I'll give you a deal if it's a bulk buy.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be back in the podcast studio next week discussing a win over Burnley.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots more content coming. So stick with us, stick with the channel, stick with the Villa. Up the Villa.
How dare you steal our man, Matt Kendrick? Boo. How dare you? If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.